I knew something was wrong the moment the door clicked behind me. Too soft to be an accident. Too deliberate to be kindness. I was already gripping my stomach, riding the sharp wave of the contraction that sliced through me. My dress clung to my skin, sticky with fear and sweat. The wedding music thumped faintly through the walls, like a countdown I didn't ask for. And then her voice, calm, almost bored. Just hold off for a while, my mother-in-law murmured. Hold off, like childbirth was a favor I owed her daughter. She took my phone before I could react, slid it into her clutch, locked the bathroom door and walked away. That was the moment the betrayal crystallized. Not sudden, not shocking, just the final confirmation of what I'd been circling for months. I met her years ago, back when I still believed approval was something you earned. She'd hugged me stiffly at our first dinner, calling me a sweet girl. My husband, then my boyfriend, beamed. I wanted her to like me. I wanted to belong. But belonging to her family felt like walking barefoot over glass. Fine at first, then the slow realization you're bleeding. Still, I tried. I swallowed comments, smiled through comparisons to my sister-in-law. My husband told me she'd soften with time. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to think love could fix the cracks. The signs came slowly. A missed ultrasound appointment because she forgot to pass the message on. A nursery she insisted on designing, only to mock every suggestion I made. Her icy stare every time my stomach grew, like my pregnancy was an inconvenience she couldn't return. Then came the rehearsal dinner. I excused myself to rest, and when I returned, I caught her whispering to the groom's aunt, "Honestly, I hope the baby doesn't steal my daughter's thunder. She's waited for this day her whole life." The aunt laughed. My mother-in-law didn't. I stood there, invisible, the truth burning through the fog of denial. She wanted the wedding perfect. She wanted her daughter perfect. And me? I was a threat wrapped in maternity fabric. Still, I stayed silent. Not out of weakness, out of strategy, because silence sharpens the blade. The contractions began the morning of the wedding. Subtle at first, manageable. My husband asked if I needed the hospital. I lied. "No, it's fine. Let's give your sister her moment." But I watched my mother-in-law watching me, eyes narrowing each time I winced, calculating, anticipating, fearing my timing. And when the next wave hit hard, deep, I felt the floor tilt beneath me. Still, I didn't break. Not when she dragged me aside. Not when she smiled that tight smile and said, "Bathroom. Now." I walked in willingly, because I needed to see how far she'd go. Because some people reveal themselves only when they believe you're helpless. She took my phone, turned the lock, said those words, "Hold off." I didn't scream, didn't beg. I just listened to her heels clack away and felt something inside me shift. Not the baby. Me. The soft part of me hardened into something cold and exact. Time warped after that. Contractions swallowed sense and sound. I remember sinking to the tile, a metallic taste in my mouth, the world dimming at the edges. My last thought before the blackness took me. She wants silence. I'll give her silence. For now. I woke up in the hospital with an 4 in my arm and a nurse adjusting my blankets. My newborn cried somewhere nearby. My husband sat on the edge of the bed, eyes red, fists tight. He wasn't looking at me. He was looking at her. My mother-in-law stood in the corner, pale as hospital walls, trembling in a way I'd never seen. "Please," she whispered, "don't press charges. It was a misunderstanding." Misunderstanding. As if unconscious labor happened by choice. As if childbirth could be paused like music. But I didn't speak. Not yet. Because the plan wasn't mine alone anymore. It was ours. While I'd been unconscious, someone had found me. A guest looking for the bride's mother. Heard me slumped inside. Called for help. The paramedics arrived. The police took statements. My husband learned everything. He didn't yell. Didn't threaten. He just asked her one question. Where was her phone? That was all it took. Her stuttered answer sealed her fate. When she realized I was awake, she rushed to my bedside. "Sweetheart, please, your hormones." My hormones didn't lock me in a bathroom, I said quietly. Her mouth snapped shut. Then my husband stood. His voice was steady, colder than mine. I already pressed charges. Her face drained. Completely. Utterly. Beautifully. And, he added, security escorted you off the wedding grounds. The police want to speak with you again. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. Power doesn't require volume. She reached for him. He stepped back. She reached for me. I didn't move. The nurse blocked her path. She left the room in silence. The same silence she'd forced on me hours earlier. Her own medicine tastes bitter, I guess. Later, when the officer came to take my full statement, she lingered outside the room, crying. Sobs heavy with the realization that I wasn't the one losing control. She was. I spoke calmly, precisely, every detail, every word measured like a scalpel. My revenge wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was legal, documented, permanent, exactly what she feared most. My son slept beside me, tiny chest rising and falling. My husband held my hand, thumb brushing my knuckles with a tenderness that almost broke me. But I didn't break. I breathed. She tried to bury me in silence. Instead, she buried herself in consequences. Funny how justice feels quieter than revenge. Cleaner, sharper. And as I watched my son sleep, I realized the truth. Some battles you don't fight with screams. Some wars you win by surviving. And some people only learn when the spotlight they guarded so desperately burns them instead. I didn't steal her daughter's day. She stole it from herself. I simply told the truth. And the truth, it turns out, is the best revenge I've ever tasted.